Alrighty, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to sound a little bit different today because my microphone broke about 5 minutes before this stream started, which is great. We always love it when that happens, right? So we're hoping this is going to go smoothly from here on out. Because I could really do with that happening. Gonna be honest, could do with it being smooth. Hey, at least we've got game footage, right? Maybe I sound terrible, but there is game footage going on. Let me just turn this music down very slightly. I think that sounds okay. I probably sound terrible. I'm using a headset microphone. Nothing I can do. The cable broke from my microphone. Like, it's just giving my computer power surges consistently now. Which is great. You know, that's always good fun. That's exactly what we're looking for when we're trying to do a stream, right? I unplug the cable to just move it very slightly. I plug it back in, it goes, oh, power surge. It's like, okay. That's no fun. That's no fun at all. We're going to be watching ESPT versus Helios, though. This is going to be a great game. This is Battle of the NA. It's like 10 minutes past 2 in the morning for me. So I'm very tired. I've had 1 or 2 drinks. Not too many, though. But I'm certainly looking at this game thinking it better be exciting. And we've got SME, and I love SME. We've got Checkpoint into Mason, and we've got Western Approach. If ESPT cap first, we're going to have a really good wide game with a lot to look at. If Helios cap first, it's going to be a bit grim having to fight through the Mason. It's not ideal, but actually, you know what? I love the meat grind. I love the pain. I love the punishment that teams have to suffer for this. I'm hoping we're going to see some form of like a truck snipe, maybe a few rockets flying overhead. We're going to have to see, though, what they've got going on. Let's take a look at the map. I've heard the first explosion already. I don't see any of the trucks going down, though. We're going to take a quick look at this Helios opener. Looks like 3 infantry support trucks. It's that double Lux. Plus the medium, recon's in the back. We've got a supply truck going there. Okay, got some rockets coming in from ESPT. Let's have a look. Woof, they're shooting over, way over. But this ESPT opening is fast. It's absolutely rapid. All their rockets are flying way over though, and I'm not seeing any rockets out from Helios on this one. But this ESP opener is rapid, and they are gonna just run all the way through. Truck goes down early doors. Wow, that's loud, isn't it? Maybe that's just loud for me, but 3 ATs are into the point already. We've got Inchon playing squad lead today, no Inchon command. Who we got up in the north there? That's really where this fight is going to come to play. The Lux in the point. This is huge. The Lux in the point's massive. And Peace, if he slips through. But he's not going to. He's up against Pollo Yoko. Who's gonna make him suffer. Bonzu taking the engine out on this Lux. It's gonna be good night. Wix hops out, gets the pistol kill. Oh, big plays from Wix. They stay alive and can continue the pressure. That tank's not gonna survive much longer, I would have thought, but it keeps the pressure up just for now. Gives them something to think about. There you go. He goes down to a rocket. Don't even see who's fired that rocket, gonna be honest with you. But ESPT are running through the front door already of Helios here, and this is bad news for them. They're getting, the cap pressure's okay for Helios. They're contesting occasionally. That's just because of these tanks. So that medium tank in the point, he's challenging this Lux already early doors now. It's an interesting spot. I think Helios perhaps were thinking they were going to see this medium go on the southern side based on where they've set this Panzer IV up, but they're in a really good kiting position there, just to be able to rotate backwards and forwards. But look, we've got 3 tanks from ESPT in this center circle right now. It's going to be a rough old game if they continue doing this, because Helios are going to struggle to counteract that, I think. Just move my microphone down slightly. I'm very sorry about that. Gonna be shuffling it a little bit, but they're actually winning this northern fight. Look at this. I think this is massive, actually. Winning this northern fight, this is going to give them all of the control in the world between Western and Checkpoint. They've got their defensive squad leads out already. They don't have nothing in E5 actually, which surprises me. I would expect a set of supplies maybe coming in deep to F5. I'd expect that to be getting set up just so that they've got something. Looks like, oh, it looks like the opener, they got a little bit stuck. Looks like the recon tank maybe got stuck, followed by the supply truck based on how that went earlier. But actually, we're going to see now Glenar and General T actually start to make their way through and towards Western Approach here. But we're going to dive back down into this absolute grind fest here. ESPT really looking at trying to just control this this main house here, and then put pressure onto 3-story here, just in the center of our screen now, where we've seen Dauf just go down. We're into the meat grind we go. We've got Peace, we've got Red Citadel, Jean, Sith. These guys are going to be going through some pain and suffering here. And that's because of these 3 tanks. They're not going to move at all. You've got to go challenge these 3 tanks. And don't tell me, son, don't tell me who's in this medium tank that's just gone down up here. This is the Panzer IV, isn't it? It is. Look at this. Panzer IV goes down, unable to kite. What little angle this medium tank must have found through there. Just firing on pings must be. Because I don't know how else they're going to get rid of it. But Ares and his crew doing a bit of work there. And that's going to make this this southern side difficult, but good lord, how is Cartographer... I'm sorry, I totally missed the fact that Cartographer was over here, and I have no idea how he has got his outpost up in such a ridiculous position here. They're going to keep the pressure up. It's going to be difficult. Hitman Alex is already kind of sus on this one. Cartographer's just got to stay alive, because this outpost is probably going to go down at some stage. Byside spawned in, that's the tank crew. Spawning in there, getting the kill, that's crucial. Can he go wipe out Hitman Alex's outpost? Yes, he can. Gets 1 outpost. Got a couple more to go through. But this is absolutely massive, just to divert some of this attention away. Cartographer, obviously, ex-ESPT, coming back to face his old team. But now we're seeing this Lux dive. I think they've been given the call. Jimbonium here. I think he's been told, there's a medium, or sorry, there's a heavy tank waiting for you. Go get involved, go die and go get it. Just make sure you get some value out of it. What would be nice here, I think, from this light tank, is maybe just a little hedgerow run. Get yourself, start yourself up here and just run all the way down this hedgerow, wipe out any outposts that they may possibly have. But I think they're actually just going to dive in behind, and this could be terrible. And for Helios, the fact that Jaeger's already managed to cross this open field, that's not looking good. We see Jimbonium. He's on skates down here, I think. Sliding around. I think, oh, he's rubber banded like hell. First rocket does not do any damage. Hits underneath it. Second rocket is terrible. And then the big explosion. This is going to wipe a lot of it. There you go. Finally a hit from Confused. But he goes down. I think that's wiped another outpost here. They are clearing the front door here. What do we got? Recon in here. We've got Nagat and Charlie to go. Is he going to wipe them? I don't know. I think he might be able to grab Charlie potentially if he can get through, get over. Big ricochet here, actually. What's the ricochet off? Oh, dear. Recon tank. Starting to bully the Tiger. It's just going to sit right behind him. That's an engine shot. That's 1. You got 4 more to go, Mac and Butters. I didn't know Mac could tank. Who knew this? That's the second one and finally goes down, but that's going to slow up this Tiger tank. And it looks like the Stuart's gone down as well, having wiped out Charlie's outpost. So that's a lot of the southern pressure gone already. And look at the state, the absolute state of these garrisons. Forgive me, I haven't tested my drawing tools today, so we're going to do this live. Let's just make sure we are synced up. Yeah, that looks relatively synced up to me. From what I'm seeing, look at this. Look at the absolute state of this. There is not a garrison in the 400 by 200 meter frontline area. That's no good. Realistically, at this stage of the game, there's no reason to not have something in D7, not to have something up here, not to have something up here. Just to be able to reinforce through, because great, they're winning this northern fight. They're massively losing this southern one, though. And if they lose these open fields, it's going to make retaking them nigh on impossible. ESPT won't give that up too easily. Cartographer's still alive. He's been a little rat bastard. Cloudface commanding today for ESPT. I don't think I've seen this before. Cartographer's just chilling. He's just chilling here. Does he have his headphones on? That's the real question, but I'm not going to pay attention. to the little fight in the background. Let's go take a look over this northern side as we swing across. You can see ESPT just about hanging on this northern side, not allowing them free entry into the point. However, Glenar has managed to push himself quite the way through here and is actually going to start putting pressure into Western approach alongside Cool Palak. We're seeing a bombing run land here. Who have we got? This is a Helios bombing run. Lander's not going to kill the infantry inside those buildings. Not going to kill the tanks, so it's not actually done too much unless they've cleared out a garrison on this point. I can't say for certain. Jean has actually managed to get himself into the point, and this is massive. If he can keep his outpost up, it may be worth him actually... come on! Why is no one rotating back to get this garrison up? What is this? This is crazy stuff. But Panda's getting close here. He's got to win a couple of gunfights if he wants to make this stick. He's got a difficult one coming up against Poyo. It's not to say he can't do it. He might get the drop on Poyo as he starts to bandage up. Sith coming in to help out as well. So if Poyo gets Panda, then Sith could get the trade. Wipes out one of the outposts, so Poyo wins the gunfight. But Sith's taking the outpost and then gets taken out by Clownface. But that's more spawns taken out, and the artillery is starting to land from City. They're starting to hit. He's on 24 kills already, just 15 minutes into this game. If he can figure out that they're spawning somewhere in this little waterway, if he can stop the rep on that tank as well, that'd be absolutely massive. Double reps in the point is always dangerous, and XL's outpost here is in... Well, it's going to be under pressure soon, because Incheon's outpost is massively under pressure. 2 goes down, Ginger takes down 2. Incheon's still alive. Where are these outposts? Looks like they're just set off of the hedgerow. Very, very good placement. How will 4 do? It's 3's little brother by the sounds of it. Satchel goes off, doesn't get anything. Rockets flying in now. Helios are putting the pressure on, and this is because they've won this northern side. However, here we go. This is the play, please. The play that needs to be made here. If you are ESPT, the play is to not worry about Western right now. It is to do what Glenar is doing and just rotate all the way through. Rotate these players through. Get the pressure in from multiple sides, and this is why I said Helios needed this F5 garrison somewhere up here just to be able to then reflank, to keep that pressure up, give them the ability to do this. Their garrison network's coming online very, very slowly, but it is getting there. It looks okay for now. And let's do a quick count up what they've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not too shabby here, not too shabby. If they can get the 7th up here as well, that would be lovely. I would really appreciate something up there just to give them some way, some presence to be able to push back through. But looks like ESPT just about hanging in there. City is going ham though. He's picked up another 12 kills in those past 3 minutes. As his, you can see him. City's an absolute monster. His artillery is landing in this waterway now. This tank does have all 3 people in, which is a shame. But it is locking down one of the outposts now. I'm going to have a little flyover to Western approach to see what's going on over here. It looks like maybe Shaka Zulu's pushing himself through. Could get caught from the rear here with Last Pizza Roll. And he does so indeed. That's going to keep the pressure off a little bit, but Veni Vici's in there now. They've got to be wary here, not let this front door go, because ESPT are flooding. They are flooding, and they are flooding the right direction. They're getting a little bit of pressure into Western, keep them on their toes, but then most of this is all coming around just to reflank through, just to really put this pressure onto Helios here, as they look to just maybe take these sorts of lines through here, get the sight lines across this field, maybe get on top of these buildings, which you can see all the way across, just to really keep the pressure up here. Because while they've got this northern side, they've not made this count yet, Helios. They've got the main buildings, but I think they're going to lose them very, very shortly. I think they're just going to get squeezed out, and they've not managed to take anything, any road or anything. So they've not got south. See a big explosion down here. Actually, you're gonna have to take a look at what just exploded down here. Maybe just a little AT gun. Yeah, just a little AT gun. Okay, no fuss. no fuss. The Tigers not peeking at all. They're actually going to start peeking now, and I can see the 76 rolling up. Oh, just Tiger did a little cheeky little peek there, little slow peek, and now the 76 is just parked up behind. So we've got Arcadian, General Drawbreaker, and Ares in this one. They're going to know that Tiger's over there. They'll have a mark on it right now. We're actually going to... I was going to fly away there, but we're actually going to see the peak. We're going to see the little peak come through. Oh, the Rick, no way. Propaganda, poor form. And there you go. That is a turret hit. And that is going to... Yeah, the Tiger's going to have to dip out. It's not interested. It's not going to get involved. So we're now on to the stalemate on this southern side. I'm not going to pay too much attention. I wouldn't have thought. Maybe I return throughout the game. But that's going to stalemate a lot, I would imagine, until one of those tanks really makes the breakthrough. And it depends, do you commit those tanks to this southern side and really go for it? Or do you have those tanks work through with this infantry a little bit more central or into the northern side of checkpoint here? Let's take a look at our maps here. Western approach. It's been contested, but I wouldn't be too fussed by this right now. Looks like Cartographer, he went deep to begin with. He's now going for a little bit of a rotational, deep defensive outpost. Okay, I see this. We can see... Look, you can look at this all you want and think the noose is tightening around ESPT, but I don't know whether it is or not. It looks really, really strong for Helios, but actually they just don't have the staying power in this attack. I wouldn't have thought. They just don't have a way to, you know, if one of these outposts goes down, how does an SL get back into it? I don't know. Once Baker and Tear Squad are gone, they cannot get back into the fight. They've got to fight through the front line. All over again, and that's just such a distance, and you lose so much ground. Whereas I think if they'd have just ran something early doors, get themselves in behind, they would have been in pretty good shape. City's on 52 kills in just 20 minutes. Dude is ridiculous. He's just shredding, man. He's just shredding. ESPT are dropping a lot more back into this defense now. I think they're dropping a few more infantry into there. They've got both of their recons back here, flaring away. That tank's finally moving out, but I suspect that might be because they've got enough fuel for yet another heavy. Actually, look at... We're just going to... I said I wasn't going back to the southern side, but we are... Oh, another Rick. Come on. What is this? This is amateur hour down here. Prime. You're not a Ricochet kind of guy. But Ricks again. I can't do it. I can't live with Prime being that bad. I just don't believe it. I don't think it can happen. But regardless, we're going to see, wow, we're seeing a lot of players now starting to push through the front door here from ESPT. But then I don't know whose artillery that is, but it is absolutely shredding them. How is Dick Wags managed to get into the house? I don't understand. He's actually going to come into a fight with Mac and win, actually. And how somehow he's managed to get himself into the house. I'm starting to cap. I don't know whether it's sustainable, whether they've taken out the outposts. You can see City dropping that artillery back just a little bit further. But I tell you what, Red Citadel Amber Lamps now getting themselves involved just a little bit deeper here. The heavy tank from ESPT on the southern side is totally pinned down, but it's currently pinning two heavies from Helios, getting good trades. And as I said, I look at this northern side, it's just collapsed already. It did not take long. That garrison's okay, is what it is. It's going to tell you when there's a front door approach. But what we really need to see now is another one of these attacking SLs come off of this, come through into F6 and really try and work through this town, because they are just going to get pushed out front door, and it's not going to go well. Not going to go well. Fender, thank you for telling me that the headphone microphone sounds fine. It's not ideal. It actually sounds worse. I've actually put like an equalizer on it just for just to make it a little bit clearer. I spent like 2 minutes tweaking this thing to get it to work, which is good. But yeah, Dark Visionary, man, this microphone issue. The microphone that I've got works perfectly fine. It's just a cable. I'm gonna have to buy a new one, and it's like a USB mini, not a micro. So I just don't have one of those laying around, annoyingly. Got like every other type of cable, but no USB minis. Annoyingly, the microphone actually has a phantom lead port onto it, and I have a phantom cable. I just don't have any way to translate that into digital. Frustrating, but is the way it is, right? I'll get it sorted by the end of this weekend, I'm sure. But look at ESPT here. They're now able to push out through Helios, and they're just getting bunched up. We're seeing so many players, so many outposts here. You do not need all of these outposts. There's no way, if we take a look at this, there's no way all of these squads are filled, right? We're seeing George here. Are they in the meat grind? Yes. We're going to look at Tear Squad. Are they full? A Tear Squad. That's only one player. Twist. You do not need to be here. Get out of this and get round and give yourself more width. More width on the attack is what is required here. And we're seeing they're going to just push them out of the front door as well. Maybe they've dropped a few more players into this Helios just to try and get themselves a little bit of breathing room in here, I think. It looks like there's a Stuart running riot in the background as well. Bit of an explosion down here. Don't tell me. What? Hang on. That's a tiger dead. I don't know how that tiger's died. There was a second tiger up here. Where's the second tiger gone? Second tiger's dead. Holy shit. Hang on. We've got to check Ares' score here. Where's my man Ares? 164. It's not him. I don't know what they've been doing to kill these tanks, but this is crazy. The fact that they've been able to absolutely just ransack these Helios tanks. ESPT, the tanks have historically been the weak part of their game, but right now it's just functioning. It is just working for them. They're making, I mean, for a start, Father Ted and Hodge just making this light tank absolutely work here, and they've totally lost all of this southern field here. Ares is starting to make his way across. He's going to claim another hedgerow, and at this stage he can chill. He can do what he wants, quite frankly, because he's gained all just crucial ground up to this stage. If they can then just prep him, ensure that he's safe on this side, they'll be good to go. Big Rick, good lord, what is going on today? Helios, where? I don't even know where this tank is. Where are we talking? It's just down there. There you go. Another massive ricochet. This one from Little Sticky. So we've actually seen every tank gunner rick off of Ares. This is crazy stuff. I can't believe it. Decent rockets going in, but none of them connecting properly here. Sharpie should be able to pen here. There you go. Finally, Father Ted and Hodge go down, but they'll be okay. There's a heavy tank waiting for them at spawn. No fuss there. Got Jimbonium in the actual hard cap here, now firing outwards. He's going to be difficult to displace. Helios are just getting absolutely turned over across the map here though right now, and they're just getting pushed, and they're just getting outpositioned, quite frankly, just massively outpositioned. Because look at this, Kulpalak is he's just going to have a free run into Western. They're going to be able to get 6 players straight into the hard cap if they so choose, and if they so want to. Let's take a look at this map right now. We can see Cartographer playing this deep defensive. He's actually under pressure as well. Where's his outpost getting pressured from? Somehow Solo Corpus. Looks like Joe there has got himself some spawns way up on the edge of the map, and this is pretty typical from ESPT. This is not new. I wouldn't be surprised when they place, probably, I'm going to be honest with you, like an E3 garrison. Don't prove me wrong. Don't prove me right, guys. What do you got? You got something up here? Wouldn't be surprised. It's a shame I don't have dual maps today. I don't see anything, but I would imagine they've got a garrison up this direction. Maybe somewhere within hospice. That's just going to be able to give them some way to feed in, and Helios just, they don't do that. This is not part of their game plan. And it's great. They're playing really nice light touch defense, trying to keep a few players in there. But at the end of the day, they are not making any ground. They've got superior numbers down here by the looks of things. On a brief little look, I'm not going to count up. But they're just being outpositioned here. Look, you've got, what, 3 players, 4 players down here. All that is technically between the point and the entirety of the Helios attack, but not massively being effective here. Confident and Braz, they're the ones making the play, and this is where we need a squad leader to really make this play, just to give them this little bit of width, just to be able to feed players back in. Looks like we're seeing a few Well, actually, only this is going to be Twist. Twist making his way around the outside, which is lovely. Little bit of pressure inside of a Western approach going unchecked for now. Kupalak is in there, T-Ra as well, and they're actually winning gunfights. They're actually winning gunfights here. And that's going to make things interesting. They've not killed any of the spawns down here, so they still have this garrison and straight inside of Western, which should be no problem. They should just be able to deal with that one. Sounds like ESPT now are actually running a recon plane over top to see what they can put in. We're seeing another squad leader make their way through. There's a firing range down here. Looks like T-Ra actually had his eyes on that garrison for a minute. Took down a 3 or 4, and the pressure is still coming in. Lost our love and feeling Veni Vici. The US Ranger starting to cover this garrison. This is crazy. I can't believe that they're going to lose this point right here. And this is so poor, unbelievable, crazy how poor this is. Defensive bombing run coming in. You never like to see it. And they're gonna get totally reset here. And now I'm curious because we saw Joe up on this northern side. Shaka Zulu, though. He's already making his way through. I told you they must have a garrison somewhere that they're able to go pressure through. This is poor from Helios here. That outpost is lovely, though. I presume that's Shaka's there. I'll just circle where that was in case you didn't clock it. It's just down here where we see Kiwi and 4. And that's going to allow them immediate pressure into flak if they need it. But I think crucially it's going to allow them, if they really need to, just to filter some players up here. They should have eyes. They should have eyes on this outpost that's feeding in. And this is really the only outpost, but we've seen basically a full reset here from Helios as they desperately try and defend. But I don't understand what the game plan is here. If you've got no one spawning on this northern side, to at least give yourself some map control up there. I understand maybe you're thinking, okay, we've got the outpost up there, it's not lit, we've got the garrison, it's not lit, great, fantastic, really, really lovely. This is an ESPT bombing run coming in now, landing just the other side there. That's maybe slowed some people down, but ESPT are now just really going to start feeding some players in. But here we go. This is defensive play. This is nice. The fact that they're able to, they got a couple of spawns off of this E5 garrison here, I think, just to be able to squeeze in. That's going to give them a lot of room. But look, they're just fading across the map here. And this is going to give ESPT all of that map control in the world, as much as they really, really want. Let's take a look at this recon plane. I'll tell you what, I love the fact that I'm playing as a crewman today, because I actually get the recon planes, so I can see what they know, if that makes sense. They now know there's a tank down in this south side. I don't know whether they've had it marked or not. Ooh, big flare goes up with a big spawn on this outpost up here. I don't know how they're getting so many ATs back. Like Kupalak has spawned in this northern side as well. I told you they've got a map edge garrison somewhere, and it's not going to get dealt with. I don't think Helios will find it. That's always going to be a problem. That's why they work so effectively against teams who don't perhaps play that themselves. They don't think it's one of the options. Now, hopefully Helios here, they'll give us a bit of a game going on. Because they'll now reset themselves. Twist is still up. I like this from Twist. He's still alive and up. He's got to keep himself alive, but Glenar's pushing him. Wampa's just taking himself a little duo down there as he looks to make his way around the back. Helios play this sort of wide outpost sometimes that floats around the back. They don't get massive traction out of it. I don't think it produces too much. I don't think it gets given too much resource, if that makes sense. But I'd love to see him just get a garrison down here on his outpost, to be able to that then gives him the freedom to push his outpost just a little bit further. Helios need to be careful here though, because they're actually a lot of their attacking squads that they've got here. They all spawned in on the same garrison, and that's just going to leave like big tracts of land between their lines. That's just going to be able to be funneling ESPT players through. They look okay for now. The defense looks like it's gotten solid again. They now need to just start figuring out how they can funnel players through these sorts of key zones here. And if they can get that pressure back up on those sides, then at least they'll keep ESPT honest through this. It was a great reset from Helios. They did really, really well with the reset. They defended fantastically there. Now it's how can they actually get themselves back onto the offensive. That's going to take a little bit of time. I think this transitional play sometimes struggles. Helios sometimes struggles with it. I don't think they're so good. I don't think they have that cohesion to be able to put the pressure into those right places. But it's certainly something that they could very easily work on. We've seen City, half an hour in on 90 kills. I think half an hour into the game is probably a good little stopping point, actually. We're going to take a quick peek at the stats here, see how we're doing. Adam 1776, I know he's an arty player. He is on just under half the kills of City, which is absolutely nuts. City's just going absolutely ham on them. Then we've got Hagrid on 33 kills, Poyo's on 33 as well, Crims, these are great shooters. I know these three are infantry. Drive-by's on 29, he's infantry as well, having a great game. Hitman Alex having a great game with that M1 Garand as well. Braz on 29, he's playing infantry. T-Raz on that MG, and we saw him picking up kills off of the Garrison. So he got a lot of kills in a short space of time. And Knife Hero here, I love this from Knife Hero, rounds out this top 10 with 26 kills, but he's also second on the deaths with 26 kills, which is great. I love that. He is just playing WK. Now, I wish I could sort of search for players. I do actually have him on my screen so I can see what he's up to at the moment. But I wish I could sort of find these players in-game a little bit easier, just to be able to go watch them for a short amount of time. Let's hop back into the game, though. We didn't miss too much in that little minute stint. As I said, we've found Knife Hero here. We're going to watch how he just plays for just a second here. We're going to unlock our rotation. And just see what it does, because this man is just W-keying his way forward. Playing AT here, so he's getting plenty of kills. I will just quickly tab out so you can lose game sound. He actually gets taken out there. Let me just take a look at Knife Hero. He's got 20 Garand kills, 3 bazooka kills. He's actually managed to get himself a knife kill as that, and somehow managed to get himself a Lux kill. Must have blown up a Lux and killed an enemy at the same time with that explosion, which is interesting, really. You know, I never considered that would possibly be a thing you could do. Let's take a look on this this town fight, though. This is going the way of ESPT. It really favours them. Their good positioning, good movement. I mean, this outpost at the moment is just filled. It's just absolutely stacked with Hagrid, Covenant, and Crims. But General T is up on the rooftop. Naughty little boy. He's not going to get found. Clabstos should get caught by Con there. He does indeed. Braz is one in there. Tell you what, this outpost is just absolute fraggers here. General T pops over, kills Covenant. He doesn't know where that gunshot's come from. I wouldn't have thought. He's not going to know he's up there. But that just generally means that they're very concentrated, and they're not going to hold this forever. I see Twisters drop narrow again. That's probably the right move to give them options within this E6 space, but they're just fighting over dead terrain at the moment. It's not counting for anything. ESPT will be quite happy where they've positioned this Helios team. We're going to take a quick look at Western, because we see it's got a little bit of contest. There's not too much, but I think I find it slightly weird that I've changed my camera angle to be facing south. Kind of made me feel a little bit weird, actually. I didn't like it. Solos Corpus is just a little rat boy. But look how many players are back at flak position here, because they just got reset on this northern side. No spawns at all. Again, that's sort of something that you could have. This garrison feeds in back through, just to really continuously reflank and win you that map control. They got reset out of Western pretty much, one outpost in there. Well, they've got themselves a decent defensive line, but God, I mean, look at the control here that we're seeing from ESPT just over their cap sector. If we highlight the cap sectors here, in fact, we'll try and do a few little colours here, shall we? Hang on a second. So we can see here in red, that's the cap sector. ESPT have currently got control of. They've got forward defensive, they've got deep defensive covered. They've even mostly covered one of their wings as well. At this, they're managing to really clear out this D7 area, and this DA area is just a dead zone of terrain to try and push across for this Helios team. Going to be sort of mission impossible down on that southern side, though one could argue that they really kind of have to just keep people down there. I feel like my microphone's clipping just a little bit, so I do apologise if I've been sounding a little bit terrible. I don't know what's going on with that one. Anyway, back to the programming here. So over in this northern side, you can see that no team has control over this church area here, which is really kind of at the moment favouring the winning team. Once Helios can get control over it, then they can start putting pressure into ESPT. But at the moment, it is just not working. They're not winning the gunfights, but they're getting out positioned first and foremost here. Is the really crucial thing to see. We're going to dive down and have a little look down here. Last Pizza Roll loses his gunfights versus High Speed Hilly and Kulpalak. And then we're actually going to see defensive artillery dropping from City here, which is... Is that worse than a defensive bombing run? I don't know. Maybe it is. Surge, pop around that corner. Can't quite get Kulpalak, but High Speed Hilly's paying attention. No fuss. He gets rid of him. And High Speed Hilly now is going to get himself free entry forward. Takes down Dauf. He is on a bit of a run here. He gets himself into the house. Get a nice little power position he's going to find himself in. Can Plubes come through and wipe Kulpalak? I don't know. He gets artillery, and I think that's friendly artillery as well. I don't know. Not ideal, but it's the way it goes. Sometimes City's not shy of killing a few friendlies. Fox Dog, thank you for letting me know that the second target got precision. Do appreciate it. I probably should have looked at the time and figured that one out, but it's the way it is. I can't pay attention to everything on the map at once, I'm afraid. But to get precisioned, woof, that shouldn't be happening. Shouldn't be happening. But so far today, thank you for the follows, by the way. Guskit, Jack Frost, Daichi, Butterdog, and Mav as well. Do appreciate it. Notice there's a couple of our Oceanic friends. You guys probably don't get to see many of my streams because they're at terrible times for you. Certainly not catching them live anyway. But hopefully you'll enjoy the rest of this game. I'm probably going to get 50 minutes out of this one unless ESPT really turns the screw on them, which they could do. I'm seeing a couple of Lost That Love and Feelings making his way through with another outpost, and I always look at the squad leaders to see where they are, because that's an indication that actually that's going to be where we're seeing a lot of players come through. Shaka Zulu is looking to try and control this open field in the north, but here we go. This is a little bit better actually from Helios. The fact that they've got these players coming in from this northern side to just squeeze back down, try and get some additional pressure in. One or two of these players pressures north, which we're actually seeing. We've seen Surge trying to defend this E5 area as well, but Helios are just getting pushed back inch by inch by inch, and they don't have a response to it. They don't have a play to make here. And I think they just didn't capitalise on that early pressure that they had around checkpoint. But good lord, I mean, Lost Our Love and Feelings in the point here. He's got 3 of his mates in there. Max just outside as well. Oh, when you're dropping artillery there, you are in trouble. That's an admission of defeat, isn't it? If you're dropping artillery that close, basically on your own strong point. I'm looking at his marker here. Look at this. This is disgusting. And it doesn't feel like Helios know how to deal with this at the moment, because nothing is lighting up for them, and yet they are losing Western. I think they'll get the defense on now as they kill a few players, but they've really got to just try and clear up here. But that just every time they clear up around the point, they just lose another 15-20 meters. They lose another house and hedgerow and elsewhere on the map. Recon plane comes in, That's going to be an ESPT recon plane. Probably looking at bringing a bombing run at the same time to cover something if they need it. But at the moment, look at this front door area. It is not looking tasty for Helios, but it is looking mighty fine for this ESPT team. You're at a plane flyover. Let's have a quick look. That's a ESPT supply drop. There you go. Couldn't figure out what it was for a second, but they're dropping that right on the front door, looking to try and just get that garrison up. And once they have it, you know, they'll be able to just feed players into Western approach here. Big spawn wave comes in, and we're still hearing calls for filling George Outpost. That's happened. They filled Queen as well. But oh Lord, look at that front door, and look. I'm just gonna say, look, this is why this needs to be a. Oh, I'm still on red, aren't I? Option needs to be a garrison sooner or later. What that gives you, if they can get, because this garrison here is dead. There's nothing that can be done there. It's not going to happen. But if they can get a garrison here on option, they can feed players back through, and they can come pressure from two sides. They can get just that little bit of additional work on that front line, and actually really try and clear them out. Because I mean, they're just being squeezed everywhere else on the map. This southern side, all of this ground is now lost. Look, there's nothing. There is absolutely nothing that can be done on this southern side anymore. Create yourself a garrison here, repressure back through Western. At least gain control if you're Helios. At least get yourself control over this sort of territory, and then you can extend it down. Then you can really extend down. Then you can gain yourself control over this northern side. But otherwise, it's not looking good here. And I think it's partly just because they're not getting these wider garrisons up in time. I mean, the start on garrisons was appalling. Supply truck went down. They really didn't kind of recover it too well. But this feels like a matter of time before ESPT just really put the screw on Helios. And actually, we're gonna be seeing fighting over Western approach for a long time here. Mostly just because how are they gonna get any map control? They're not winning gunfights, so what's the plan now? What are you gonna do? They've not effectively ground in the middle. The meat ground's not been effective. That's just been squeezed out and out positioned by ESPT. They almost went around it and then pushed back. They squeezed it again and pushed back through. But it doesn't feel like Helios have an idea of what they can do here. They've dropped 2 tanks onto defense. Seen that they did spawn another one back at mid HQ. That one's now coming back up. That's Honey Badger and his crew. But realistically, unless these tanks make massive plays, the infantry certainly is not. The infantry is not doing enough here. We've seen a few spawns come in on Wampa's outpost, but not a single supply drop. No one. And there's no plan here to recapture E5 permanently, and that's where all the pressure's coming in from right now. From ESPT, and it's only a matter of time. Here we go. I was going to say it's only a matter of time before they use the southern side down here, where we see Hitman Alex, to then start feeding more players in. Obviously, it's difficult. I don't get to see where ESPT are positioned, but they've got all of this pressure, so much pressure. If you imagine the amount of arrows being the amount of pressure that they can feed through that area, we'll then start seeing some more pressure come up through these zones here at the same time. They then may decide to just run something up again round the outside just to give themselves something round here, around the back. But we've been seeing actually garrisons and stuff go down from this west side already. And now Western's being attacked from 2 sides, and Cartographer's doing the right thing. He's reflanking Kupalak, but they've yet to deal with Joe. They've yet to deal with anything really around this northwestern side of Western approach. And if they continue just feeding players through like they are down here, I mean, Clownface is now making his way through. He's going to go add his cap weight to the point, which is smart. feel like there's much use for him elsewhere. I imagine their garrison network looks pretty damn solid at this stage, because there's just no pressure. They've had the time to build up here, and we can see Wampa is making his way through, but what's the purpose? What's he trying to accomplish here? Maybe he's going to go put some pressure in. They've got some players back here, so I guess at least he's getting value out of his life by having players back here challenging him. But realistically, there's no way, I don't think, for Helios to come back through this without something particularly special, without, I don't know, being brave. I think this sort of move that they're making right now, this is brave, this is nice. Whoops. This is nice. They're going to go squeeze this zone from two different sides. They're actually going to go immediately put pressure into checkpoint as well, try and catch ESPT a little bit cold. But if they can just feed players through from these zones here, potentially they can squeeze out this southern side, and that then gives them a bit more breathing room to then put pressure elsewhere. But certainly the fact that they just try to run a squad leader straight up towards checkpoint, and he was immediately caught, says everything about the patience that ESPT have right now, because they're not letting this sector sit free. So we're seeing a recon plane come over. Oh my god, Wampa finally. He has actually built this garrison down here, wherever it is, I don't care. But thank God, now make use of this. Now make use of your outpost, because you can now use your outpost more offensively. You can get yourself into somewhere like F6 and then range outwards a little bit. They've finally got this E5 garrison unlocked, but honestly, I think that's mostly because ESPT have just pushed past it. Oh, which I find hilarious. The fact that they've put so much pressure almost to the inside of Western that it's unlocked in this E5 garrison. It's like genius, maybe? I don't know, maybe it's genius. But the fact that Wampa's finally got his garrison up, I'm happy. Hopefully they can now utilise that in an effective manner. But at the moment, I mean, Shaka Zulu, could it be too late? Maybe it's too late here. Shaka Zulu's got his outpost in. They've got two satchels coming in now. Ginger Slushy does win his first gunfight though with that STG. Wins his second one as well. Very nicely played from him. Fair play. Do like to see those wins, and I'm hearing a ricochet off of a tank somewhere down below me. I'm gonna have to check my map to see if I can find it. It could be this one. It is indeed, actually. Yeah, drive by there, firing rockets in at this this Wix propaganda and Sharpie tank. Doesn't look like it's done too much damage. Maybe just track for now. But I mean, interestingly, he's kind of turned his back there. Not entirely sure what Wix is doing. Not sure what the players. I think maybe they were looking at trying to spot this incoming heavy, and they've caught it. It looks like one of the tanks there has helped them out and picked that one off, which is great. I'd like to see maybe a few spawns from McFudden here. Yeah, see, this is nice again, reflanking through, and suddenly look how much more comfortable they are with just players coming in from a different direction rather than constantly just pushing outwards. They've decided that actually, or maybe we can push back inwards towards our own point, and that's okay. That is allowed. I'm gonna just refresh my stats page here, because I don't know whether it's got stuck or whether City's just like not getting any kills right now. No, he really is just stuck on like 95 kills, and it has been for a little while. Adam's only on 55. Oof, looks like the tank got satcheled in the point as well. We figured this would happen. That's a lot of cap pressure suddenly missing there. And this outpost still in the point really is crucial. Drive-by has actually managed to make a bit of a run at this Tiger. Don't tell me this has been satcheled as well. Doesn't sound like it. I think that was an M1 Garand there from the AT, which means it's not a satchel player. Plubes, good shooting across the field, but I mean, he's like holding hands with Joe. Basically, he's just going to get a free run into the point. They think they know. Things are starting to light up here, and Joe's just found that garrison. Is the call going to go out? Is he going to take it down? It goes down. The call's gone out. But again, ESPT just seem one step ahead consistently over this Helios team right now. As that garrison goes down, they're finally recovered in this northern side enough. But they are just not finding Joe and his outpost at all here. And that's proven to be a real nuisance for them, but at least they finally got some control over the map. They're able to put just a little bit more pressure towards checkpoint. That's going to force ESPT to make a decision at some point potentially. But with all of these players now really charging into the point here, ESPT are probably going to feel fairly confident, and Helios could panic just a little bit here. Tank is having to run away with his tail between his legs. Because he's been so damaged here. Bold truck driving going on here. I don't know whether McFadden, is he going to make this work? Or maybe he's going to go for an outpost. Set it off the hedge. Set it off the hedge. That's going to get taken down pretty quick. As the moment they kind of figure out someone could be there, they're just going to run at that hedgerow. Powerfish, thank you for following as well. Do appreciate it. Well, I'm on like a 15-minute delay today, but that's the way it is. But I would love to stream these games live, right? I'd love to be able to actually like interact with the chat more. That'd be lovely, and that just gives something different. I think I would work quite well with that. That would suit me quite nicely. Don't know whether all streamers would enjoy that so much. Though I'm sure most would. I think a lot of them would like to just be able to focus in on this game, but I like to talk about the game. I like to discuss ideas, and obviously with this with the way that we are set up at the moment, you know, I kind of have to just one-way chatter about the game and analyse, but I'd love to kind of get the views of people from the chat just on those ideas, really, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I'm sort of rambling there. Deathless, thank you for following, I do appreciate it. It's always nice to pump the numbers up just a little bit, I like to see the numbers go up, it gives me good dopamine. One play, being a little rat in here. His outpost is lovely, just in F6. That's going to give them really nice abilities to feed through. And you know what? Helios, they're finally getting a little bit of control there. E5 garrison got taken down, that's a shame. But again, they just need sort of one more player, one more squad lead, I think, to really just focus on coming from F5 through E5, just to really clear up that front door. Because look, they started contesting with one player inside a checkpoint. That's not a surprise. This is how teams defend, very light. It's actually interesting. They'll probably defend with one person in the strong point usually. Is to play. What that does is it allows you to count the chevrons. They're not doing that. It looks like Jonas actually got picked off somewhere, but he's going to run back just to be able to provide that that call out for the chevrons. But the fact that they were contesting with one player says that, you know, they're defending light, and they need to, if they can feed something in, it could absolutely work. Strafing around. Hello. You know, in like comedy skits where they turn and look at the camera? Just imagine I did that there, because that was quite possibly. And Smithers, I love you. You're a lovely guy. I think you're great. That might be the worst use of 150 supplies I've ever seen. And I have, like, you know, many hours in pub games. That was quite bad, wasn't it? Anyway, ESPT, I feel like they've got really just nice spacing at the moment, great control, they're just trying to cover every area. I don't know whether Helios can use their numbers here. Again, they've got good numbers to punch through, but it constantly feels like ESPT are just one step ahead through their positioning all of the time. Even in the 1v1s, it feels that way. Ploobs gets taken down there, which is a real shame. Didn't actually see. Oh, it looks like he got taken down by a tank. Obviously, that's Jimbonium in a little Stewie boy. Ploobs, hopefully, he's one of the defensive squad leaders, typically for Helios. I don't get to see the roster, but I kind of know how they play. Oh, look, hang on. Don't tell me. I'm fairly certain I called this garrison up here earlier. I still don't see it. It's up here somewhere. But they've just been feeding players through all the time. I actually like to... If you leave that supply trucks like just a bit away from the garrison, and you know, they get the totally wrong idea for it. Just drive it backwards. Like, no one ever thinks you're driving it back towards your own HQ to abandon it. So I always find that amusing. It's not like massively effective. I just said it was amusing to do, because then they sort of run around looking for stuff, and totally unable to find it. Wampa, though, got himself a little interesting position here. Looks like his outpost has gone down. He's going to have to just go chill, I think, until it comes back up. But look at the immediate response from ESPT. Look at the different directions that they immediately have players coming from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Immediately. It was straight away. The moment the cap started to come in, they said, no, not having it. Look. 5, 6. Immediate. It was straight away. And that's the difference between good defense and bad defense. People often talk about, oh, you know, good defense, you roam around, you probe, and that's great. But no, the good defense comes in from the outside. That way, at least, you know, you can really put some pressure in. You know, you can immediately snuff out any enemies, but you can put pressure on them. If you do find them, you've got multiple avenues to put that pressure on. They've not like totally given up this front side, because I mean, confused is not. Well, he looks confused at the moment. Maybe he's being held up by XL or something. I don't know. XL goes down though. I'd like to see a little bit more forward momentum. Jesus, I just noticed it's 5+3. I was like, why am I yawning? Oh yeah, it's because it's like almost sunrise. I'm gonna suffer for this one tomorrow. Sniper Girl's got herself. I don't think they're a she anyway, but Sniper Girl's got themselves in the checkpoint. But look, Wampa's been wiped out because of this additional pressure added in from a direction it wasn't expecting it from. And so he's been wiped out. That immediate pressure on checkpoint now is removed. ESPT feels safer. Wonderful, great, fantastic. But the crucial thing is here. Unlike earlier, if we sort of rewind back to the start of the game, we had some Helios outposts down here in E6. When they got wiped, they had to start again from here, D6, and they never pushed back through. If you notice, they never really managed to feed themselves through to this northern side and to add pressure again, because they were just constantly fighting against the front line, and that's not the way to make ground up. But now they've got this garrison here. Look, oof, free space. Right, it might not be free, maybe you have to go fight, but you're not fighting the front line. You're not fighting this dense mass of players consistently. And now you're able to hopefully make some ground up. Look, there's if you make your way through these gardens, there's so much room. So much space that you can go through to just sort of put pressure, make ground, put pressure on ESPT. I'm starting to struggle with words at this stage of the night, I'm going to be honest with you. The whiskey I'm drinking probably hasn't helped. I was drinking a rum and coke earlier. I've not really sort of looked after myself for this stream, because it's so late, and the whiskey's been flowing. It's been great. It's a nice Benriach 12-year-old. Very, very nice. If you're into whiskey, I highly recommend it. Very, very nice. It's even better if you put just a little drop of water, like a pipette's worth of water. We're talking like 2 ml, and it really opens up those flavors like it does with most whiskies. But with this one, it just feels like it does something a little bit special with it. Anyway, get some front line pressure, I guess. I mean, his Chow as a spotter has basically walked through. I don't quite know how he's managed this. But he's just kind of walked in free into the point here, which is hilarious. He's actually going to get some marks on tanks, I would hope. Should be able to get marks on both of those. They're going to have great views. Incheon goes down. And at the moment, oh no, the tank does see him. There you go, he goes down, and that's Hodge there in that free medium, getting good value out of it on defense. But hopefully they've got marks now, and they can utilize this. Actually, we're seeing a 76 dive a little bit down here. Mars Rover hops out. Oh, Jimbonium hops out. Double reps. Gunner stays in. Double reps out. Mars Rover having to pistol his way through. That's not going to work. Gun off the back of this Stuart as well. It's going to stay alive for now, I think. Don't see another AT coming in for it. But again, good value. Let's take a look at the map here. Where have we got the tanks? We've got 2 in here. Okay, brilliant. Nice. Fine location for it. Sorry, I love all these mines. I love whoever's doing this. Big fan of that. And we've got Duck Sorts now coming through. He's got a little sticky for a gunner there. So it actually looks like they've slightly switched up their crews just a little bit. Feels like that. Yeah, Stuart just goes down. A little bit of pressure comes in on Western. Let's check out. Is it real? Is it something to worry about? It doesn't look like right now it's something to worry about. They've got just a couple of players in sector. That's okay. Looks like they've actually just got a player into the sector. Oh, that garrison's bad. You should actually be thanking them for taking us down. Just Joe again. Solus Corpus. Actually, looks like Solus thought he was going to get strafed then. But it's okay. You should be thankful that garrison goes down. I'm going to be honest. You should just be okay with that. Because it's... I mean, it was in the C column, so it was going down anyway. Stop with all of these players. Jesus Christ. Oh, Helios. Don't need everyone in 2 meters of each other, right? Come on, spread around a little bit. You have decent line here. You have a decent line here. Now just start feeding a few more players around the outside. Try and control this town a little bit. Don't need everyone coming through here. I don't think, all of these squad leaders. If the squad's up full. Alright, if the squad's a 3 out of 3, sorry, 3 out of 6, and you've got 2 of them, just merge that into 1 squad. That's absolutely fine, it's not a problem. Just use the G43. I know you don't get as much utility that way, but it's okay. You don't always need all of the utility in the world. No, this time, I must say, with Helios in the past, you could criticise them for not using utility enough. We did see rep stations up early, we did see AT guns, so it was built by dead tank crews, which is a little bit worrying, the fact that infantry still hasn't got that nailed, but I think we have actually seen some like rockets fly out, which previously we've not always seen from Helios. Oh, Nez on the MG, hip firing away. Is he gonna get caught? No, he's popping upstairs. Boyo probably just satchel this building, I would imagine. No, he's actually gonna go in for the gunfight. Oh, Nez has got his headphones turned up. Oh, Jesus, Nez, fair play to you. Great hearing there to be able to hear that one coming through now. Helios finally getting a little bit of pressure through. They got some players up, but I think again, maybe they're going to get outmaneuvered here by this ESPT team, but love this supply drop. Oh, it's only 50! Oh, it's only 50. Oh, that's a shame. If that was 100, we could have seen something really, really special come out towards the end of the game there. But that was just 50 from earlier in the game when Cartographer got himself firing behind. But look, we're now seeing this crazy cohesive line here. Look at this. It's not perfect, obviously, because it goes sort of like this, right? That's lovely. That's great, but I don't know. Like, there's I don't know whether you're going to get anything out of this. You've been outmaneuvered by ESPT every step of the way. The next step to outmaneuver Helios here, run a supply truck in here, and run a squad down here. Pressure on the line. Job's good. Immediately rotates into Western, and that's how you run this. That's how you run this line down. And Helios here, because of the way the map is laid out, the fact that they have such a strong southern side, they're just unable to really get any pressure to wrap this line up, unless they, that the play is probably Supply truck, supply truck, supply truck. All the way around, all the way around. Get yourself something built like here. And do something with that. That would be ideal. Looks like the garrison on point got a little bit hot. Smithers called for a redeploy into Western, but he's cancelled that. No fuss, no harm, no foul. City's only got like 20 kills in the last like 40 minutes, by the way. I'm actually worried for him. Has anyone checked on him? I don't know if they have. But look! Why are we holding hands? Oh, I kind of want to just go stream at them. Why are we holding hands? Could just go take the time to run around outside. It's not that far of a detour, and it could get you something. It could do something. It could just at least get them moving. I think you need to somehow try and get 50 more supplies here. Otherwise, you're just not gonna... I don't know. Maybe they can. Again, I think it depends a lot on whether their tanks can do something special in this game. And whether their infantry stops getting outmaneuvered, but I think once again maybe they will be, because I think ESPT can just consistently reflank. They can come out of their deep zone. Helios seem very intent on sticking within the active sectors, trying to stick within E and F columns particularly. They very rarely ran anything around the outside. They certainly don't run any logi trucks around the outside at all. Rathwell, thank you for following. I do appreciate it. There's another little dopamine hit. 22 minutes to go in this one. I'd be interested to see in the chat what you guys think is going to happen in this next 22 minutes. Do we think Helios, because they are very slowly, consistently making ground up right now. They are bringing, like, this line is broken slightly, but it's curved in. They are winning gunfights. Recon plan comes over from ESPT. They're going to have the knowledge of this. But they are very consistently making ground up here. Oof, another tank goes down in the distance. Looks like AT got him. Twist unable to save his tank crew there. Honey Badger at Prime. They're being hit now by a tank down below. I've got to check this out. Looks like it's down inside a checkpoint. There it is. Rathel, thank you for subscribing. I do appreciate it. That's a nice little bit of money goes into my pocket. Yeah, it's a Prime sub. It costs you nothing. If you've got the Prime subscription, it gives me, you know, like £2.50 or something. And all of those, they actually add up into making this earn me some money, which is great. It's always nice. I do it for free, but I'm never gonna lie. The money does help. It helps me buy, the cable for my microphone, so I can go back to sounding nice again. Second heavy goes down. I think the tanks have just been absolutely bullied once again, but I don't think anyone in this Helios team has particularly played well today. No one really has consistently stood out to me. Looks like they're actually firing some medium smoke shells off into the distance. They're trying to utilize some of the utility that they've got. But yeah, we're actually seeing now a little bit of breakthrough, but once again, look, there you go. Dick Wags, we've just seen him up in the corner here. He's in a great little spot. He actually just needs to stay alive, continue rotating through. That's okay. He can't die here because their garrison's being pressured and is actually locked. So if he loses his outpost and dies, they've got no recourse back into this zone. That garrison will come back online. I don't think that'll be found anytime soon here. But they're finally getting a little bit more width. They're going to be able to maybe pressure through from a different angle here. But at the moment, actually, I don't know. That front line's kind of collapsed a little bit, right? It sort of feels like isolated pockets of fighting right now. Nothing too cohesive. And again, just been outmaneuvered by ESPT constantly, consistently. Unable to defend themselves. And we're seeing some decent... I mean, I don't quite understand the purpose of this MG. Other than just to say, oh look, I can actually make this ground up. But as... Free the Chickens has basically killed himself there by missing the shots. Poyo's got the trade and Con gets to trade. Double little spray transfer. Lovely, lovely job. gets the outpost. So, hey, Scythe, his cannon fodder did very, very well there. It was a nice play. Do you like to see a bit of cannon fodder? And then Con actually gets rid of Jonas as well, and he's into the point. If there is a bird at this stage, don't know what spawns they've got nearby. Don't get to see him, unfortunately. He's going to go take that house. Byside's coming in. Gets taken down, unfortunately. I was going to say, if he's got a satchel, he could really put some pressure onto this tank here. But there you go. There's the little rotation spawn that they can use back towards Mason. It's just offset slightly from the checkpoint. They'll be able to just pressure through. I don't think there'll be too much worry here from ESPT about this pressure from Flig's outpost at this stage, because it's not too sustainable, I don't think, and it certainly is not going to generate enough pressure to allow ESPT to allow Helios to make the ground up. But at the moment, we're seeing a really nice setup from Helios in terms of their garrisons. They just need to be able to get the infantry into the right spaces and continue to get that pressure up. It's a shame Richard Wagner did not manage to get himself around through Mason's Creek. Big garrison spawn wave down here by the looks of things, actually. Oh, there you go, Sith getting the kill there onto the 76, using AT to take down a 76 is lovely. It's something we don't see Helios ever do. Sith, nice job, my man. It does take 2 ATs to do it, though. It does take 2 ATs to do it. Down here in the front door of Western, we're still seeing fighting going on. ESPT, they're not going to let this one up. It's good home territory for them. Good street fighting is always going to be a strong suit for their excellent fraggers to push through. Calvus are actually did manage to get one of the outposts. Shaka's still up before he gets taken down by a grenade by drive-by. But Western is under lock and key, and at the moment, just feels like the game is drifting ever so slightly. This game's gone very, very quick up to this stage, but it's now just started to drift slightly, which is when hell at least starts to drag and feel like a bit more of a dull game to watch. Hopefully we can see some action here, actually. Maybe Flig is going to provide it with his outpost. Boyo goes down. High speed Hilly's got the MG. There he's actually looking at him. Oh, and he sees him. He sees him. Crazy eyesight there from High Speed Hilly. He's going to go through, maybe. Wipe the outpost. Oh, he was too slow. Too slow. Gets taken down. The outpost lives to see another day. Looks like Bitesize actually managed to kill one of his own players there. But if I see High Speed Hilly had just basically not gone for the kills, if it had actually just gone for the spawn wipe, there'd be players there, but there wouldn't be this spawn wave here. There wouldn't be an outpost and no squad leader, etc. But of course, that's easy for me to say, right? We can see they'd killed the squad leader. He doesn't know that. Looks like maybe rockets going in. They've cleared out the outpost. Flig goes down. End results the same. All good. Just realised actually I've got a different microphone today. Normally you can't hear me drinking whiskey during the stream. I don't know if you can hear me or not when I'm drinking. Maybe you can. I don't know. So apologies if you can. Whoops. Hopefully maybe the sounds of the music has helped out with that one. Potentially it has. Partly why the music is there. This is good defense right now from Helios here at Western Approach. Actually, it's taken a lot of players, which is not ideal, but I actually think that's partly because they've just been wiped in this central zone through here. Look, absolutely nothing through here. It's a real funnel right now for ESPT to use if they want it. I'm not going to take that exact approach, obviously, but look, they've got this lovely protection zone around checkpoint at the moment that Helios just are not breaking at all. Crash, you'll have to let me know what your favourite whiskey is, man. I'll if I haven't tried it, I would check it out and try it. It's got to be Scotch, though. It's got to be Scotch. Got to be Scotch. I don't do any like bourbon or anything like that, or even like Irish whiskey. I haven't tried any of it. Single malt scotches are my kind of thing. Looks like this front line here, I'm going to say it because I know I've got people in the chat who love it when I say the word front line, is pretty much collapsing here, and with 13 minutes to go, I don't know whether they've got it in them to make this ground up at this stage. They've shown that they can make the ground up towards checkpoint fairly quickly, because I think ESPT are not too worried by the sort of E6, F6. Yeah, E6, F6 area, I'd say. They're not too worried by that. But the moment they sort of get to the border, as you might call it, as soon as they get to like this sort of zone here, that's when they really sort of turn on the defensive pressure, and that's when they sort of really use all of the tricks to try and push them back out again. Because I mean, Wampa's been in here for so long, and they're not too worried about like searching every single garden, every single alleyway, to get rid of him, because he's not too. They don't feel like there's any threat here. They've got total control over the 4 square around checkpoint, and that's you know, that's fine. That's good enough. You're not gonna lose the point in that way. Recon plane flying over the top. They're going to see all these tanks defensively. I love the defensive tanks, by the way, this late in the game. We're talking, we've got, you know, 11 minutes left in this game, 12 minutes left in this game. They've got to start capping by 2 minutes. Defensive tanks totally kill all that momentum. Hagrid's telling E-Rock to get off AT. Hagrid, did you watch yourself fire the rocket against TL? Because, gonna be honest with you, Chief, I don't know if you're the one. I would imagine pretty much anyone else is better. Oh, Flake holding the angle there, lovely. Dives back out of the way, though. Not going to challenge Clownface. Got a little bit of a dance going on here. Little Mexican standoff. Who wants to push? Oh, Flake's too impatient. Of course Flake's going to push. They're the ones that are playing offensively here. Oh, he wins it. Oh, Clownface. Did you like pull up the map then? I don't really know what happened there. Yeah, fair play to Flig for winning that one. He's looking to try and free up this garrison up here, I think. He's going to have to search quite hard, actually, because I think they've recognised it as the area that they're coming in from. I think they recognise that they must have something to feed off of here. City's on 129 kills. He's picked up a little bit in the last 10 minutes. But we're going to see a bit of a tank fight down here, I think. Unless it's already occurred, it might just have happened, actually. What just exploded? Oh, a little recon boy. I think he hit the mine. I think he's hit the AT mine there. They're not going to know. No one's going to know that tank's gone. I think they'll be concerned by the whereabouts of that tank at this stage. But they've got to be brave. They've got to be bold. I think they're just going to have to chuck the tanks pretty much at checkpoint as hard as they can. 9 minutes left to go. ESPT putting just a little bit of pressure into Western, but not too much, not committing much into this. Looks like just the one outpost onto that. They're actually committing a lot to try and find this F5 garrison here, and God, what a mess this Helios line is. They're just being outmaneuvered consistently. Looks like we have an armoured convoy going on far in the south. I love the idea of this. Looks like it's been found already by a tank. Look at this little armoured convoy. It's so cute. It's so very cute. Honey Badger, don't go down. Give yourself enough room. That's poor. That's poor. They could still see you had to back up way further than that. It's not a great position, and unfortunately for them, Jimbonium, Maximuse, and Mars Rover there. Yikes. Pretty much killed that armor offensive off before it even began. We're just taking a look at this control over the map here. ESPT now, they really do just want to control, I think, as much of this space as they can. They won't press, I don't think, through D7, in the sense of they're not going to like throw loads of players at it. They'll continue W keying towards it, but I think they'll be happy holding the front here at this sort of width here. And look, this is the sort of move. Sorry, I'm just going to point out King Squad here, McFadden. What he's done is, this is the sort of move they needed early. He's come off this outpost, and rather than just sort of W key in any direction towards the south, but he's actually pressed north here to try and clear out some of that infantry. And when you've got just a little bit of pressure coming in from two sides, it really makes it difficult to move, and it puts the squeeze on. And if they'd have been doing this consistently through the game, then actually I think they'd have had a better outcome, or at least they'd have had more time to generate an offensive. Spent a lot of time having to ensure that the defense was safe, and Joe here and Solus Corpus have basically just been a little nuisance. I know they've actually made some good plays. Realistically, I think they've actually had good games. They've got value out of this outpost. Back here, confused actually with a decent shot onto Solus Corpus by the looks of things. But they've got good value. Oh, precision strike coming in towards checkpoint. Is this mark accurate? I don't know. I was going to try and see the mark. Let's take a look. Oh, it's going to be close. Jimbonium just about escapes. Track damage only. That's the issue with Peace Strikes. They've got a bait, they've got it. Well, they do have to hit dead on. And you know what? He's got a repair station right there. That's going to help him out. Take on point goes down. Where does that come from? Someone with an angle somewhere. Who's got that angle? Certainly not that. Not going to be that heavy, is it? No. Can't be. So I don't quite know how they've managed to do that. Whether they were just lobbing rockets in, maybe. I have no idea. Perplexed answers on a postcard. Pretty please. But they are. Look, they're bunkering down now. 5 minutes to go. 3 minutes 20 left. This game's been super comfortable for ESPT. I think they've been put through their paces fragging wise. I would imagine. I think they've had to concentrate to win the gunfights against a lot of these players. But I think generally, strategically, ESPT just that step above the Helios at the moment. Just outmaneuvered them consistently there. And City's artillery now going to start dropping inside a checkpoint, looking to try and cover off a lot of those spawns, but Helios have got to really W key through here and win every single gunfight on their way through at the same time. And I think just because they're basically only able to pressure from one side, this D7 fight has been so static, so static the entire way through. Really, they just haven't been able to, and it'll be interesting to see now what Hitman Alex goes for, where he looks to try and play through. You know, he's got two options really. He could particularly try and take this sort of route down here, or they can make this sort of route. Tendo Fury perhaps should play up towards this northeast and bring some players to really wrap up that front line at this stage. While Hitman Alex can you know, if he wanted to put some pressure into Western, don't think there's enough time for him to really get through there. I think it'd be far quicker to just go wipe out Amberlamps and Peace and Zan as well. Crash, thanks for following, do appreciate it. but we're just... I don't think we're going to see anything in this final 1 minute 40 seconds of potential time to start capping. They're not even in the cap sector at this stage, and well, I mean, actually, we might see something interesting over at Western, because they're on top of the garrison. Interestingly, Cloudface up in this far northern side, and yeah, it looks like actually they've decided to go put a little bit more into the point here. Probably just try and drag a few players off. They've got an outpost in, actually, given a little bit of cover there by that truck, which is interesting. They managed to take the garrison down. They did. There's a lot of outposts in there, but 2 go down very, very quickly. With squad leaders as well. And actually, some of these outposts are going to be vulnerable here. We could see an interesting finish to the end of this. Massive satchel goes off inside the point. That's another outpost down. We've got just George and King squad left. 0 outposts. Looks like George just gets killed as well, and King is left, and so few defensive garrisons. It's been building over time. I didn't feel like they'd commit anything particularly into this. Looks like McFadden is smart enough to realise that he needs to come back and play closer into the point, but honestly, they're dropping an airhead inside of the point here. ESPT, they're really going for it now at this stage. Kiwi's looking to try and cover that. McFadden's got his outpost up. Off! Kiwi, there you go. Slays an entire spawn wave, and this is going to go 4-1 now. That tank's going to race its way down, I think. Too little, too late, though. Duxors is not going to be able to do it. And they just got how many outposts? Woof! They must have a front door garrison somewhere, because they have absolutely fed players in. The bomber run combo on checkpoint doesn't matter. Yeah, by the by, it would have been a nice play towards the end, but at this stage now, under 2 minutes left, Helios cannot win, and at this, ESPT really have just kind of almost been cruel here to end this at 4-1, but I totally deserved at 4-1. And it's just a shooting gallery at this stage, and you can see even Joe here is prepped and ready to try and go for flak immediately afterwards, and that's the preparation that you require here from these teams. There's a good chance maybe even, I'm bothered by where this garrison was, and I'm never going to find out. Maybe they even have this garrison further up this way. Oh look, there you go. I found it. I knew they had one out here. Should have guessed actually it was close to the flak. Up here is very much a western centered garrison, but you can get one up here on C3. That it's got a 2-pronged attack. I should have spotted that one earlier. That's my mistake. And look, and immediately they got cap pressure into flak position. They can't cap it now, but it's all about show. All about trying to style on your opponents at this stage. Big spawn wave comes in to defend. But wow, what a finish by ESPT, really, just to go in at the end and really go for it. Despite the fact that, you know, there was the chance of losing, technically it was there, but actually they felt so comfortable around checkpoint they could make that final play. Wow, 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 what a finish. We're going to take a quick peek at the tank scores here, and then we'll go and have a look at top infantry players. On the stats page as well. City, he's come out top of the kills, just under 2 kills per minute on artillery. Had a great game as always. Slowed massively down towards the end, which is a real shame for him. He was on for the 2 kills per minute. Command commander as always. Let's take a look at the scores. So 860 for Duxors there, and his crew. That's 400 each. Let's have a scroll down. Propaganda was a tank crewman. Oh, only less than 300 for him. And we need to take a quick find. Only 400 per player here for Honey Badger. So absolutely styled on really those tank crews. Take a quick peek at the ESPT tanks. Hopefully they haven't left by now. I want to just be able to scroll out. I wish people would just stay in the game. Give me some time. Give me some time to read these things. It's important, right? Let me have a quick scroll down. See if we can find him. Ares, low scores from him actually, but they've done enough. Under 1,000 low scores actually from tanks in general. There you go. Jimbonium getting a decent score, but not amazing. 3Ks usually for the crew. is the standard that you usually expect. Looks like Hodge there, really defensive, light, free vehicle tank type of player there by the looks of things. Only 200 per player, but really low scoring games for tanks actually, which is interesting, I think. Take a look at the scores. Confident, top of the infantry kills as usual at 96. Hagrid there with 87. Hitman Alex 83. Poyo decent as always, 81. Crims there on 80. Poor game from Adam, I think, on artillery. Not quite sure why. Helios had a lot of players on their strong point for a lot of that game, and they were pushing through some fairly obvious zones. Sometimes firing artillery into the town area can be a little bit difficult, but certainly that he could have got a lot more kills than that just by firing on the strong point. And unfortunately, the map's flipped, so the stats are gone, which is a real shame. But guys, do appreciate you hanging out. It is 20 to 4 in the morning for me, so I am going to go to bed. It's not going to be it's going to be 4 in the morning by the time I actually get into bed. So guys, hope you enjoyed the game. Hope you all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.